Here come the hot step bar. I'm a little good dance flap. It is. Oh, I need to put those down there, don't I? Right. How's that doing? Oh, here comes the hot step bar. I'm a lyrical dance flap. A few dregs from yesterday. And the nice fresh stuff. There we go. Quick blow of the smart. Oh God, so cold out there. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's cold. Good evening, darlings, and a very warm welcome to Tuesday Night Live. And it's a very warm welcome on what is the coldest of nights. I don't know what it's like where you are. I can tell you that here it's fearsomely cold, darlings. It really is fearsomely cold. It's causing problems, I tell you. Oh, but I'm inside. Hopefully you are too. I'm not warm, but hopefully I will be warm soon. I've whacked the heating right up, darlings. I've thrown caution to the wind. It was on 18 when I came in. That's why it's a bit cold. I've whacked it up to 21. I have. Oh yes, they're coming on nice and warm. So yes, a very, very good evening to Tuesday Night Live and a triple birthday celebration. So over the space of the next hour, as we wave away Tuesday and the triple birthday, and we welcome in Wednesday, hump day, the middle day of the working week, as used to be, half day closing if you lived in Gleneath. We are going to have all of the usual lipstick around the nipple. The hedgehog of truth is on hand should you wish to ask a question. Sean's box is here. It's going to get a right old pounding. The community portable electric telephone is here should you wish to leave a voice note or send a text, something of that nature. I received a fabulous birthday gift for which I'm incredibly grateful. It's over there and I'm going to show you that. But first and foremost, oh, God, it's cold. First and foremost, I'm going to have a right old glug of my wine because it has been a somewhat trying evening. Oh, yes. Oh, tales to tell, darling, tales to tell. But as soon as I've done that, I'm going to dive headfirst into your comments, which are, let me remind you, very much the meat and potatoes of this boiled egg with soldiers that we are currently dipping. Don't say that. Don't say that. Cheers, darlings. Your very good health. I hope that you are warm, safe, comfortable, and dry. And if you are, then you've got every reason to be happy because imagine there are people who aren't. There are people on the street. There are homeless people here in the UK, and they're out there in God knows what state. So if you're healthy, dry, happy, and warm, then I raise a glass to yours and mine good fortune, and I hope that things improve for those who and not enjoying what we are. So cheers, your very good health. Happy birthday to all of the birthday people. That's oh God, I've forgotten who it is. Well, obviously it's the lovely Emma, Bernard, and who was the other one? I've forgotten who was the other one. Was it Tracy? Oh, I can't remember. Somebody will tell me. Somebody will tell me. So cheers, your very good health. Bottoms up yours, and get stuffed. Thank you so much. I'll just go for my customary wander while I have my wine gasm. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Hello. Oh, mm. Oh, that was a nice one. Well deserved, actually. It's been a trying evening. Hey ho. All over with now. I'm safely home, so that's good. Right, first cab off the rank tonight was Carol C. First in the taxi rank, and it's blooming freeming, she says. I applied the blowtorch to the like button, and it turned a different colour. Please go and give it some warmth and love. A week today, Boaty turns to another number age, 64, 46, 69 or whatever. Yeah, week today, innit? Good. You did well there, Carol, because I don't think I've mentioned my birthday to anybody. So it's good inside knowledge there. Richard is with us. Good evening, Boaty and everyone. I hope you've all had a good day. I've got the wine burps. Jimmy Quinn is here. Good evening, Boaty, and all good evening to you, Jimmy. Lord Stiff Upper Lip is here. Ahoy there, Bautista. The fabulous Peter P is with us. Stu is here. Andrew Butty Geegiver, Spotty Butty. Any day that starts and ends scraping ice is a tough one, says Stu. And yeah. Carol C's here for the fun and chat, and God knows you add to it, Carol. You add to it. Right, Carol C. Let us, full on member of the inner scrotum now, and no mistake. If you didn't realise, Carol C has got a YouTube channel, and she put out a nice video. Oh, hello! I'm getting secondaries in the bread basket. Oh, oh, that's lovely. Oh my God. And for those of you like Emma who are convinced that I'm faking this, my God, I'm so not. I am so not. That's better than some things I've had in the past. Anyway, that's enough of that. The point was that Carol C has got a lovely YouTube channel and made a lovely video today, and we all got a mention. So make sure that you are subscribed to Carol C. She's yet to hit 100 subscribers. So let's all subscribe to her channel. Give her a bit of love because she's giving us plenty. And let's get her to that first hurdle of triple figures, shall we? 1,000 subscribers. And on the subject of subscribers, sad day, darlings, sad day. I was overtaken by Caroline. Caroline is now a bigger channel than me, on the basis that in the last 2 weeks she's gained 1,000 subscribers, and in the last 2 weeks I've lost 1,000, over 1,000. So there you go. There you go. She'll be on Sean's shirt tails next. You watch. Have you seen how many views she's had on her latest video? 31,000 at the last count. Blood and sand. There. Good evening, all, says Bad Books. Steve's waiting for a new refurb laptop. Takes ages to do anything on the one he's using. I wonder what the driving has been like today, asked Carol C. The driving today, Carol C, has been probably the dodgiest night, certainly the dodgiest night this winter. And probably the dodgiest night for quite a few winters. And yes, I went down the lanes when I shouldn't. And yes, I was involved in an incident. It was always going to happen, wasn't it? And if you'd like to know what the little incident was, then you'll have to watch the video tomorrow. Yeah, no, seriously, tonight was up there. Tonight was, yeah, pretty scary. The roads were horrific. Again, I don't know what it's like where you are, but here, when I woke up, it was snowing. It snowed all day and all evening. Not permanently, it's kind of come and gone a bit, but I put a clip in the Facebook group. When the snow was here, it was heavy. So there was already snow on the ground. It's never gone away from here. The rain didn't wash it away. It's fearsomely cold. It's about -4, -5 at the moment. So the snow settled. There was surface water from the heavy rain the other night, and everything has just frozen solid. And the roads were pretty damn lethal. And yeah, and then to make matters worse, when I was coming home, obviously came home down the main roads, didn't I? As I invariably do, well, as I always do over winter and some of the summer. And would you believe it? A road was closed, and I ended up having to take a rather dodgy lane. So, yeah, this evening has kind of been a bit bum clenchy, darlings. It's been a bit bum clenchy. Other than that, talk about work, bloody rubbish. It's been a lousy night. We had 2 customers in the restaurant, 1 delivery, 2 collection takeaways. Our total business tonight was £161. And because there were no customers in, we had to turn the heating off. And so I've just been bored out of my skull and freezing my tits off all evening. I went to Sainsbury's in the end and did some shopping, so I was bored rigid. Anyway, there we are. I'd love to know how your day's been going on. Do tell the community about any food, but if you've been eating food, well, jolly well get it in Dish of the Day. Dish of the Day is going quite nicely. And once again, I would urge you all to support it. You'll need to join the Facebook group. It's Boaty's World on Facebook. You can't miss it. We're all there. You'll recognise us. And even if you don't want to enter a dish of your own, please support it by voting for your favourite dish from the people that did enter. And there were some belters in there today. Ross put a couple of corkers in there, absolute corkers. And who was winning? I'll tell you who was winning when I last looked. It might not be the same now, but I can tell you who was leading. Mr. Coleman of the Lloyd Vehicle Consulting Channel fame, the rubbish mechanic. He was leading with his Monday roast topside of beef. It's amazing who's coming out of the woodwork with some dishes. So, please do join up the Facebook group, join in the fun, support everything. Support me, them, each other. Just generally be supportive and receive support in return. Any escapees, asked you. What do you mean exactly by that? Who else has been traumatized by the bathing video, asked Carol C. Well, quite a lot of people, I think. That video has got a lot of dislikes. 4 people unsubscribed while watching it. I knew that would happen. And I did it anyway. I did it anyway, just for shits and giggles, darlings. I've done it before, I've done it again, and I'll probably do it again in the future. I like to traumatize you. I haven't put out a toilet video for a while, have I? That'll have to be next. Couple of weeks' time, I'll do a toilet video. Oh dear. Stratospherian is with us and says good evening. Stu says, I didn't watch it. I just saw the leg and thought, no. Very sensible, Stu. Yes. Yeah. Very sensible indeed. No snow in Northumberland, says Carol, but it will be freezing overnight. You're not kidding. Steve McDonald is with us and says, good evening, Boaty, and good evening, everyone. And good evening to you. Andrew Buttigieg agrees. He says, Carol C., the thumbnail was enough. He didn't go there. He didn't go there, darlings. Pocahontas 100 is here. The lovely Pocahontas. Hello, hello, hello to you. I'm mentally scarred seeing Boaty in the bath, says Steve McDonald. I do hope it was his big toe that poked out of the bath. Poppy's Travels, hello, says, I see your Prezi, Boaty. I had the email today. Yes, you were in it. Happy birthday. Hope you enjoy. Well, we might as well do that now as as Poppy's with us. And what a lovely gift! I've thrown away all of the packaging, I'm afraid, but it was beautifully packaged. And look, we've got a little wine o'clock coaster, a rather nice bottle of Pinot Grigio. So that's probably going to be my birthday night wine. I didn't have a special bottle of wine for my birthday. I drank them at Christmas, but now I have. And check this out. It's a cheese and wine hamper, but a really, really nice one. So look at that. Isn't that lovely? So there are, what are the cheese biscuit things, I presume? Oh, mini cheddar bites. And then there are various cheeses, as you can see, and some lovely condiments to complement them. And not just any condiments, Tracklement, my favourite. Yeah, you will never go wrong buying me any kind of Tracklement's condiments. I absolutely love them. These are the guys that make that horseradish that I adore and haven't got any of at the moment because I need to go back to Chatsworth. They make fantastic mustard. They do a hot Tewkesbury mustard. I've seen it on their website that I've never tried, but I really want to. So what we got here? We've got Country Garden chutney there. And we've got, oh, I fancy this, caramelized onion marmalade. Oh, so, and then there are a selection of 6 cheese what do you call them? I've forgotten the name for them. Pardon me being sick. But that is a wonderfully thoughtful and generous gift. So thank you very, very, very much indeed for those. And I will enjoy. Better pop these back in the fridge. I believe they're supposed to be refrigerated. So I will enjoy all of that very much. And it's extremely kind of you. It will all be saved for my birthday. On the subject of that, I have had a couple of birthday cards, but I thought I'd save them until my birthday. Is that right? Should you open birthday? I had to open this package because it was non-ambient. It was whatever you call it. So that had to be opened so it could be refrigerated. But the cards that I've been sent, 2 or 3 cards, I haven't opened them yet. I was going to save them until my birthday and open them on the birthday live stream night. So if you sent a card and I haven't thanked you, it's not because I'm being ignorant. It's just because I haven't opened them yet. They're on the mantelpiece in the front parlour. and I'll open them on my birthday. I don't think you're supposed to open them before your birthday, are you? So I'll open them on the Tuesday night, on the actual night of my birthday, unless somebody tells me otherwise. Is there a bath that would fit him? Asked you. Yeah, in my work flat, in the massive flat I used to have above the car showrooms, when that was all re-sculpted and whatnot, then I had a massive jacuzzi bath in there. Now, the first time I lived there, there was a separate bathroom and lavatory next door to each other. But when I had it remodeled, that was all knocked into one. So I suddenly had this enormous bathroom. So I had a massive corner jacuzzi bath. God, it was huge. I mean, you could fit a bloody rugby team in there. Well, maybe not a rugby team, but you could certainly fit me and the artist formerly known as Mrs. Boaty in there very comfortably indeed. And God, I missed that. It was wonderful. It had all of the jacuzzi thing with it as well. And yeah, it was marvelous. And when I used to do the Malta thing, then the suite I used to take at the Dolmen Resort Hotel, which was my hotel of choice in Aura, sadly no longer a thing. It was bought by Hilton, and it's now the Hilton Malta thing. But suite I used to have there, that had a big old sunken jacuzzi in the bedroom, and I could fit in that very well as well. But as you will have seen if you watch today's video, I most definitely do not fit into a standard size 1970s enamel bath in duck egg blue. We've got a voice message. This will be a treat for you.
Hi, Reverend.
Hello.
How are you today, sir?
I'm okay. How are you?
Hope your day's been fine.
Yes, thank you.
Myself, the roads have been a bit slippy where I've been, when I've been out.
Here too.
And also, I've just let Carol see, just signed up to her.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I'm one of her subscribers now.
Excellent.
I noticed she was chatting from her conservatory. Anyway, I hope our Emma's had a lovely birthday.
I hope so.
Hope the captain's doing well. Mrs. Greenwood, the matron, and anybody else who's had a birthday today has a nice day. And anybody who's feeling down, takes time and enjoys this chat with our Reverend Boaty this evening. Today I had a crumpet for my snack, and for this evening meal I had fish chips and mushy peas, followed by my posh coffee. Oh, and plus bread and butter with the mushy peas and fish. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Just a crumpet for his midday snack. That's not much, is it? But I missed Mr. Paddy when he had a few days away from us. It's lovely to hear his voice again, and he does say the nicest thing. And I echo his wishes that everybody's had a nice birthday. No idea if Emma's with us tonight. She did say she might not be because, understandably, she's knackered. First day back at school with the kids, bit of a nightmare and headachy day with this, that, and the other. But yeah, if you've had a birthday today, I hope it's been a fabulous one. Now then, where did we get to? -2 here, says Carol C. Poppy saying hello to everyone. Boaty, have a large cognac to warm you up. Not something that I drink really. Haven't had a cognac for a long time. I certainly haven't got any here in Windy Bum. I'll have a nice cold wine to warm me up. That'll do the trick. And then I'm going to have a curry supper, aren't I? You know I am. And that will really do the trick. I had a nice lunch today, as you would know if you looked at the dish of the day entry thread. My lunch today, he said, being OCD about his candle, was one piece of sheikh kebab, one piece of tandoori chicken, a nice dressed salad, so just basic flat lettuce, cucumber, tomato, dressed with my homemade Mediterranean vinaigrette. But I had that with a small jacket potato. And I haven't had a jacket potato for years. And it was fabulous. I loved it. And before you ask, yes, I did it properly in the oven. I did give it 3 minutes in the microwave just to get it started. Um, but then I did it in the oven on a low light for about an hour, and it was absolutely delicious. Had it with a bit of butter, a bit of black pepper, and my goodness gracious me, do you know? I'm tempted to have almost the same again tomorrow. I only had the one piece of sheikh kebab, but I have got tandoori chicken in stock. And I feel that I could do a lot worse than have that again tomorrow. I was thinking I shouldn't have the same thing 2 days running. So tomorrow I was going to have a sandwich, a chicken salad sandwich with some crisps. But I'm really tempted by that jacket potato again. But there we are. And I've got a feeling that a jacket potato could play a greater part in my life going forward. I was thinking when I was at work tonight, freezing my titties off, um, that a jacket potato with some chili con carne might be rather nice. Haven't had that for 30 years. 30 years? Probably knocking on 30 years. Yeah. The last time I had a jacket potato with chili con carne was at a car auctions that I can't remember the name of. The big one at the time. I took Richard on a buying spree. I would have been about 24 or 25. So, yeah, it would have been 29, 30 years ago. Can't remember. Was it Measham? Can't remember. But the big car auctions, we just, I just signed up with an American company called Credit Acceptance Corporation. They were the first company in the UK to offer car finance to people with ridiculously bad credit. And it was a really good wheeze. I was approached, I went to their conference, they got me drunk, I signed up for it. And you basically, in order for it to work, you had to buy cars that you had to buy them behind book. They had to owe you behind book in order for it to really, really work. So I remember Rich and I going off to this auction and buying a shed load of cars, all bought behind book. So we had like a separate stock for our CAC cars, as we call them, CAC, Credit Acceptance Corporation, CAC. I even had a separate office for the CAC customers, so they didn't have to come in the main showrooms with all of the Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Rolls Royce and stuff. We had a separate office when there were Renault 25s were the one I did more than anything on CAC. Renault 25s were great because you could buy those well behind book. And I still had an element of morality back in those days. And I knew that if people were decent people and were actually going to pay, then I knew they were going to be stitched up because obviously the interest rates were through the roof. But they would accept anyone. If you had a bank account and two recent pay slips, they would give you car finance. And oh my God, the people that I met. But anyway, so CAC, they worked on the basis that people weren't going to pay. So they were basically gambling on their ability to chase the debt and add penalty charges and this and that. That was their business model. But of course, the interest rates were ridiculously up there, ridiculously up there. So I knew that people were being tucked up, but sometimes you have to be tucked up. If you need a car, and that car will earn you money, get you to a job, whatever, and you're in the share, then you don't question the cost or the shape of the stick that you can grab to help you stay afloat. You just grab onto when you're drowning, you grab onto any floating stick that you can, don't you? So I knew they were being tucked up, and I really didn't want to tuck them up by giving them a nail of a car. So I genuinely went out of my way to get cars that I thought were going to be, semi decent, but that I could buy behind book in order to make the CAC operation work. Um, it was really quite clever. They gave you a computer program. So I set up this separate office, had a separate computer with this system in place, and you calculated everything. Now, I always worked on the basis that your profit was split into front end and back end. Front end being what you got immediately the deal was done. Back end being the bonus that you got when the customer completed their payments on time. I always worked on the basis that there would never ever be any back end profit because nobody would ever make all of their payments. And to the best of my knowledge, nobody ever did because I certainly never got any back end profit. But I always calculated it only on the front end. So the deal was worthwhile by the front end alone. And I must say, that was a really interesting period of my business life because I met some really, really interesting people. I thought that I was just going to meet scum, to be honest with you. And of course, I was an arrogant so and so back then. I was too young to realize that people can fall on hard times through no fault of their own. And the universe has paid me back for that because I am now one of those people who've fallen on hard times, arguably through no fault of my own. So there you go. That's karma. Karma will always come back and bite you on the ass. But I met some fabulous people. I slept with some of them. God, I shouldn't have said that. I did though. God, I remember one. Oh, she was a chef. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, oh. God, I haven't thought about her for years. She effectively kidnapped me. Um, she came and did a CAC deal, and she was she was a fine looking young woman, and when she came to collect the car, I said something like, well, you should really take me out for a drink in it, blah blah blah. So we went out that night. We went to Rosie O'Brien's in Solihull, and and then we went out the next night as well, and then went back to her place. It was a Saturday night. We went out on the Friday and on the Saturday, and on the Saturday night went back to her place, and on the Sunday morning, where I obviously needed to go to work. I worked 7 days a week in those days. I've worked 7 days a week most of my life. She effectively kidnapped me. She locked the doors. She locked all of the doors and hid the keys, and I couldn't get out. God, I'd forgotten all about that. Oh dear. Oh, it's Trisha's birthday, is it? Right. Oh, okay. Happy birthday, Trisha. I'm so sorry I forgot. I've been asleep since last night. So we are celebrating the birthdays of Trisha, and hope Paul is feeling better. Trisha, Bernard, and the M11. Happy birthday to you each. And of course, many happy returns. Martin North is with us and says hi all. Hello, Martin. You don't get Pinot Grigio on Hubnut, says Richard. No, and you don't get him in the bath either. These It's 1 degree here in jolly old West Sussex, says Steve McDonald. Everybody's wishing Trisha a happy birthday, and rightly so. Diane Sturdy is with us. Oh, the lovely Diane. Oh, we loved her. She told me off last night, didn't she? And again, rightly so. And I hope I was appropriately contrite. Excuse me. Thank you, everyone, for the birthday wishes, says Trisha. Carol is asking if anyone has a birthday on the 8th, and I don't know. Oh, Tomo's with us. Hi, everyone. Oh, and apparently somebody does. Andrew says, Elvis and my brother. So, oh, well, there you are. There you are. Don't let Emma near Hedgie, says Peter P. She eats hedgehogs. Oh, bless her. Bless her. If you can't have a bit of cake on your birthday, I don't know what's going on. It was bloody freezing here this morning, says Richard. I decided to wear my full-length woolen cashmere overcoat to work. I'm happy that I have over 50, so I can do live streams, says Carol. I'm happy for you, but let's get you to 100. How do I find your channel, Carol C? asked Tomo. I'm sure Carol will put a link up. Won't you, Carol? You'll put a link up. Our central heating boiler is poorly and losing pressure, says Bad Bugs, but it's still working. Oh, thank God. Repair chappie comes first thing in the morning. Oh, I've got a chappie coming tomorrow. I am being visited tomorrow to have a water meter fitted because I have been advised by my water board, or whatever the hell they're called these days, that I am paying much more than I ought to for a man living on my own. Well, it doesn't matter that I'm a man, I'm a person living on my own. And I haven't got a meter, and so they say the guesstimate payment that I'm paying is going to be massively too much. And when I say I'm paying it, I'm only theoretically paying it because I haven't paid any water rates for about 3 years. I owe them about £3,000. And when I was going through my being sensible and trying to sort my life out financially, I did actually contact them and say, yeah, sorry about that, I'm poor. And they went through one of the, what we do with poor people things. And part of that is getting a water meter fitted. So that's happening tomorrow afternoon, or at least they're coming to assess it. I think they said that if they can fit it outside, then they'll fit it tomorrow. If it has to be fitted inside where my stopcock thing is under the sink, I think they have to make another appointment to come back and do it again. But there we are. I'm going to have a water meter. And when I've got a water meter, I will have to seriously think about whether to continue with my monthly bath, whether I need it or not, or just reduce that to having a bath as and when needed, which might still be monthly during the summer when you tend to sweat a bit. But I don't think realistically you don't need a bath in winter, do you? I mean, you probably have your last bath in early October, and then just leave it until maybe beginning of March, somewhere around there. I mean, how dirty can you get over winter? So, yeah, that'll be something to conjure with, won't it? Now then, da, da, da. Dee, da, dee, da, dee, da, dee. Food news from Stu. A ham salad barm with salad cream. And I think a barm is, well, it's a bun, isn't it? It's a bun. And then an Iceland smash burger. I still don't know what this smash burger thing is. I don't do Facebook, says Mark the Vicar. A few of you don't do Facebook or didn't, but some of you have actually sparked up a Facebook account just to join the Boaty's World Facebook group. Now, there isn't really another platform that's as useful and as accessible as Facebook. So that's where the online community, the 24/7 community, is always going to be. So I completely understand if people don't want to do Facebook and don't want to see all of their friends' updates and pictures of their dinners and kids or whatnot. And I completely understand if you don't want to put your own life out there on Facebook. But if you are a member of the community and you would like to keep in touch with the community 24/7 and join in the community features like planning for the meetups, community events, dish of the day, etc., 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 do consider creating a Facebook account purely so that you can join Boaty's World. You don't have to do anything else with it. It doesn't have to be really you. You don't have to have a picture of yourself. You don't have to. It could just be a relatively anonymous, private Facebook account that you just use to access Boaty's World and don't do anything else with. I will still accept you. Um, when people apply to join the group, then I understand that some people either don't want to have public Facebook profiles or are not allowed to have a public Facebook profile because of their work, perhaps, or their personal situation. So I will accept you with a very anonymous Facebook thing. So yeah, even if you don't do Facebook, consider having a Facebook account purely to join the community on there. Because as I said the other night, the live streams, yeah, they're nightly and they always will be, but it's only an hour in the day. With the Facebook group, the community goes on literally 24/7, and I think that's a good thing. So if that does appeal to you, then you can have a Facebook account, an empty profile. Keep it just so you can join in with Boaty's World. Don't put anything else on there, and you won't have to worry about your data being mined or anything of that nature. Jimmy Quinn made a lasagna for dinner. Oh, there we are. Oh, and Carol's YouTube channel is Carol Carol Chapel 912. Could you put a link there, Carol? Or could somebody else please put a link if somebody would be kind enough? Matron would normally do it, but I don't think she's here tonight. I think some people are tired. Tired. Hi, Sean, says Andrew, and I didn't see a comment from Sean. Scrolling back to have a look. And I can't find one. But Sean, if you are with us, hello. I used to buy Segs, says Steve. I remember them little metal grips that you hammered into your shoes. But shoes these days, yeah. I have a bath twice a year, whether I need one or not, says Mark the Vicar. I've tried finding you, Carol C, but no luck, says Tomo. I'll find you and sub later. Has anybody put a link to Carol C? If they haven't, I will put a link up before the end of this live stream. Poppy's Travel says, while watching your Bathuary vid in my meeting, somebody popped over my shoulder and said, is that Boaty? It's amazing who watches you. Good God, is that true? Is that true? Is that true? Oh, that can't be true. You didn't watch me in the bath during your meeting, and one of your colleagues didn't actually look over your shoulder and say, is that Boaty? That can't be true. But if it is, it's bloody fantastic. I would love that. Richard says, now I've seen Boaty's bath, I can't stop laughing thinking about Mr. Lloyd bathing in it and politely greeting Boaty with hello, sir. Yeah, I had a good old giggle. I haven't replied to that one yet, but I did have a good old giggle with it. Tomo's been stuck inside all day. The village is landlocked at the moment. Floods are terrible here. Where are you, Tomo? Are you somewhere in Leicester region by any chance? I know that the floods are horrendous around there. Oh, Sleaford, Lincolnshire. Right. He answered before I even asked. Bad Books' dinner was, oh God, he means lunch, was sausage sandwich, and tea, he means dinner, with roast chicken and lots of green veggies. Oh, Richard had cold roast beef with horseradish on sourdough bread. I froze the rest of my beef today, and I did that little beef joint on Sunday. I got Sunday out of it, I got Monday out of it, and I got four out of that one. I wasn't greedy. I spaced it out a bit, so I've got two roast beef Sunday lunches sitting in my freezer. Well, the beef aspect of them, anyway. So, no doubt I'll be deploying one of those next Sunday when I am preparing for my birthday jolly at the Grand Hotel in Llandudno. And I've got some news on that, darlings. I do have some news on that. Earlier today, I telephoned the hotel. Not easily done. You have to ring a kind of central thing and then beg and plead to be put through to the hotel. And through a combination of sweet talking and blagging, I managed to get the hotel. I think I managed to get the hotel. I kind of said, "Look, I booked on your website. Reverend Paddy here is staying there next Monday. Blah blah blah." And the only options were like single sea view, double sea view, family room, and family room. I said I didn't see any options for premier rooms or anything like that. I've never stayed with you, but I have looked at video reviews, and I can see that the double rooms vary from like a double room that's a little bit pokey, quite honestly, to a lovely big double room with a balcony and double patio doors, two sets of patio doors leading out to the balcony, and they look really lovely. I said, I would like, if it's possible, please, I would like one of the nice big posh double rooms with the balcony and with the double patio doors and all of this. By the way, I do happen to be. I did a bit of blagging. I did do a bit of blagging, and the upshot was that he said, right, well, we're not allowing people to go on the balconies at the moment because of the weather conditions and the high winds, but that might not be a thing by the time Monday comes. But yeah, he says, nice chap, name was Paul. He says he's allocated me one of the posh rooms and added a note to the account saying, do not change. Do not change this room. So, with a bit of luck, I've blagged one of the nicer rooms. Fingers crossed on that one. Because I was watching a couple of videos today, a couple of reviews, just to get myself in the mood, And I watched a couple of reviews where people stayed in a sea view double room. And one of them was, pretty mediocre. And the other one was fabulous. So I thought, well, it's got to be worth a phone call to try and blag one of the fabulous ones, hasn't it? So I did, and hopefully I have. We'll find out. Karma will probably bite my ass again, and I'll probably end up in a bloody broom cupboard. Me and Hedgie, and you're all going to be stuck in there as well. Remember? Oh, there's going to be a live stream. Oh yes. Dee. 'Cause, 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 'cause Mushy peas and bread and butter, says Tomo in reference to Mr. Stephen Paddy. Well, yeah, I mean, there are some things that you really should have bread and butter with, aren't there? One of my guilty treats, haven't had it for a while. Sausage, chips, and gravy with bread and butter. So you can use the last slice of bread and butter to soak up the gravy. Or sausage, egg, chips, and beans with bread and butter. I haven't had bread and butter with anything for yonks. I want it now. I'm still planning my food for the birthday shenanigans. I hope the little lemons were good to Emma today and smothered her with love and presents. Oh, I hope so. Oh, I do apologise for that, darlings. I can chat now, says Diane. It's difficult typing whilst eating soup. Well, does one eat soup or does one drink soup? I think one drinks soup, doesn't one? I saw on the news here, says Andrew, about a group of people stuck in a pub because of the show. I love snow, not show. I love proper jacket potato, says Diane. I love jacket potato with tuna mayonnaise with onion added, says Carol C. I really enjoyed that jacket potato, and now I feel I could eat one every day for the next 3 weeks. Oh, my mate Rod used to be mental about jacket potatoes. Oh, he's coming up on, he's going to be a music quiz, possibly tomorrow. Somebody that I know or used to know. You might know him, you might not. He's a comedian. His name is Rod Gilbert. Um, I did stuff on Radio Wales with him. And in a bizarre turn of circumstances, I also happened to climb Kilimanjaro with him, which is in Africa, if you didn't know. And a picture taken on that trip is going to be a music quiz, possibly tomorrow, probably tomorrow. Now that I've mentioned it, and I'll be surprised if anybody gets it. And if they don't, I might give you some clues tomorrow night. But he had a thing for jacket potatoes. He was always banging on about it. Steve is munching on Christmas chocolate liqueurs. Town on the Hill, says Carol C. The highest pub in England, Yorkshire, renowned for bad weather. I remember when people were stuck in there. A couple of years ago now, they were stuck in there for about 2 days because of the snow. If we're going to be on a date, says Chen Swen, please take me outside, bucko. Okay. Who are you? Are we going to be on a date? Or are you talking to Hedgie? I don't know. Renault 25s were great, says Richard, especially with all those tons of buttons for the electric seats to play with. Yeah, I love them. I owned them personally, more than one. Swanky 25s. Peak car with the 90s. Tomo's just spent 700 quid for a windscreen for his Vauxhall Carlton. Blimey. Took me months to find one. It would do. Is it a 3000 GSI? Asked Richard. I had a V6 Renault 25, says Steve McDonald. It was a great car. Yeah, so did I, and I loved mine as well. I loved the Renault 25. I would like to have one now. Wouldn't that be a nice car to have alongside Officer Crabtree? I did love the Renault 25. They were on their arse back in the day when I was buying them. And I always just thought they were so much metal for your money. I love a luxurious French barge. Most of you lot have only known me for 2 or 3 years, if that. And you probably think that I'm a rover obsessive. and I'm really not. I'm really not. I have been recently, but that's because they're so cheap. If you go back through my car history, then um, there's always been the Exotica. I do love British cars, Bristol, Rolls Royce, Bentley, had my share of those. I love Italian, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, had my share of those. But I've always had a real thing for French cars. I'm a massive Francophile. I've lived in France on more than one occasion. I love France. I love the country. I mean, the country is amazing, You've got amazing beaches, amazing skiing, amazing driving roads, amazing food, amazing wine, and you're never more than 3 feet from an ashtray. What more do you need? I love the French language. It's the only language that I've truly been completely fluent in outside of my own. Yeah, I've got lots of other languages, but I'm nowhere near fluent in them. Not even Italian. uh, Whereas with French, I was. There was quite a long period where I was um, pretty fluent in conversational French. Long time ago now, and it's all gone. Well, not all gone. I mean, take me back to France, and I'll still be able to talk to people, although I haven't done it for a while. But I've always loved French cars. Probably mainly Citroens. I've had almost every Citroen that you can think of. Long chunks of my life were spent in Citroens, but I've had Renaults, Peugeots, and to be honest, I think that the next phase of my car life will probably be going back to having a French fleet, maybe with a couple of Rovers thrown in because I am kind of fond of them, and minge bag. But an Anglo-French fleet, maybe that's what it will be. I mean, you probably know, if there's one thing you know about me, it's that I'm the world's biggest fan of Concorde with an E, and that was an Anglo-French product. So maybe my fleet should be an Anglo-French fleet. That would be kind of a good thing, wouldn't it? So maybe alongside my MG Rover, I should have well, I've already got a Peugeot. Maybe I should have a Renault and a Citroen as well. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll work towards this year. I do love my French cars, especially the big luxurious barges and the other side of the coin as well. I had a Peugeot 106. It was fantastic. I had a Citroen AX. That was amazing. When I owned the Citroen AX, it was a diesel. I can't remember the model, but it was a Citroen AX diesel. At the time I owned that, I also owned Milo, the Porsche 928, and my Porsche 931 Turbo. And when I went on a road trip to France with the artist formerly known as Mrs. Boaty on our second date, our first date, which I didn't really count, was the meetup date. We met on a dating website. There were no apps back in those days, and I whizzed up from Birmingham to Chesterfield to meet her in a pub in Chesterfield. I was driving a Nissan Laurel that night. I impressed her because we went from the pub and we sat in the car and we were talking about classical music. And she said she didn't know all that much about it, but there was one thing that she loved, and it was from the Pearl Fishers. Um, and we established that it was the tenor baritone duet Au fond de ton plaisant. And by sheer good fortune, I had it on cassette in my Nissan Laurel. So I was able to do the flash thing. I said, "Oh, you mean this?" And just poked it in. and Jussi Björling was beautifully doing his thing in the famous duet from the Pearl Fishers. And I think that impressed the artist formerly known as Mrs. Boaty. So that was the first date thing, but I never counted that as a date. That was a meeting thing, but it went well. So our first date was I took her to Paris, just for nothing flash, just for an overnight. We drove to Paris, and I took the Citroen AX. I could have taken her in one of the Porsches, didn't. We went in the Citroen AX because we were going to Paris. And if you've ever driven around Paris, well, the rule in Paris is you drive around in a car that you don't care if it gets biffed. Because if you've ever driven around the Champs Elysees, then you don't do that in a car that you care about. Nobody the French don't do it. The French don't do the car snobbery thing. Well, the Parisians certainly don't do it. Parisians tend to drive beaten up sheds because Paris traffic. I don't know if you've ever tried to drive around the Champs Elysees, but I don't know if you ever tried to drive around the Arc de Triomphe, but if you try to obey the laws of the road, then you would sit there for about 13 years. The only way to deal with the Arc de Triomphe is to launch yourself into it with your eyes closed and hope for the best, and not worry too much when people hit you, which they probably will. So yeah, me and Madge, we went off in the little Citroen AX on our first proper date, and we had a night in Paris, and we mistimed everything. And you see, now if Maggie fell in love with me when I had Au Fond de Temps Passant in my car with no prior knowledge, ready to be played. I always have classical music in my cars, or I always have opera. It's more opera than classical with me. So if that was when she fell for me, then I fell for her on the first date in Paris, and we had drinks and whatnot on the Champs Elysees, and we were talking and looking into each other's eyes and all of that. And basically, we stayed too long and we missed all of the restaurants, and we hadn't eaten, and we were bloody starving. So we went to a local kind of shoppy type thing, and I didn't know what to do. Maggie kind of took over, and she bought bread and butter and cheese and all of those sort of things. And we went back to the hotel, and we had like a midnight or 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or whatever it was picnic. But we had nothing with us. We had no, and I remember this to this day. Um, Good Irish woman that she was. She buttered the bread, probably, doubtless they were baguettes, but she buttered it using a credit card or debit card or whatever it was back then. And I just thought, oh, that's amazing. And I thought that it was amazing that when I made a cock up and not taking her to a restaurant, she just took over. And it turned it into a really, really fantastic thing. Oh, very happy memories of that. And then the third date, that was the second date, or the first date. I call it the first date. And then the next date was kind of another road trip, and I took her to Brussels. And I can't remember, but I think we were in the Citroen AX again. It was amazingly good on fuel. Uh, and yeah, we went to Brussels again for an overnight. Uh, this time we made it to a restaurant and had the worst bottle of wine that either of us have ever tasted. And yeah, and then the rest is history. God, I love doing these live streams and videos because I remember things I would never have remembered otherwise. You nudge me into memories. So thank you for that. Oh, thank you for nudging me into memory lane and indeed some wine burps. No, where did I get to? Oh, a Cosworth Ford Granada. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't mind one of those. Solihull, says Peter P. Yeah, Solihull. My credit is so bad, says Mark the Vicar, that Northampton County Court has named a wing after me. Oh, dear. I feel that pain. I feel that pain. I'm intrigued, says Stu, as to how he got into a standard bath. I might have to bite the bullet and peek at that video. Oh, don't do it, Stu. You'll regret it. Thank you, Boaty, says Trisha, and Paul is on the mend now. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. At least he took his socks off. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Oh, I love a bath, says Poppy's Travels. Couldn't do without a bubble bath. I'm going to call Diego and get a meter fitted to my whiskey, says Mark. Bath? Haven't had one in 25 years or more, says Steve McDonald. A strip wash in front of the sink is more than enough sometimes. Oh, just to dab around with a damp flannel. I joined the Facebook page, says Stu. Still got an aversion to the platform. Added a small universe. Lol. Oh, only mods can link in the chat, says Peter B. Right, I didn't realise that. I will do a link to Carol C's channel before we bugger off. I joined Facebook, says Jimmy W, just for you and the community, Boaty. While sneaking around, someone I knew friended me. I noticed because when you applied to join, it said that you joined Facebook today, that day. So I was really touched when you did that, Jimmy. Sorry that somebody spotted you. And Diane says, Jimmy, that's why I don't use my full name, incognito. My neighbour recognised you, says Mark the Vicar, when I was watching a Boaty video. Expect a knock on the door from the Hampshire Constabulary. Boaty was angling for the honeymoon suite, says Peter P. Oh, God, yeah. Me and Hedgie in the honeymoon suite. Hey, if they offered it, I'd take it. The only room I could afford at a posh hotel came with a mop and bucket. Mark, you and I were two peas in the same pod. Oh, dear. Renault Megans were comfy too. Oh, I don't have any specific memories of Megans. Yeah, like that Renault 25 Baccarat V6 Turbo I had, but all gone now, says Richard. Oh, that was a fabulous thing. I remember that. Seaside Garage YouTuber has fixed and is selling his Renault 25, says Jimmy. Oh, and Stu says the same thing. I haven't got any money. Come back in 6 months when the Airbnb and hotel are going. Then I might be able to actually buy something. Oh, a Renault Safran 2.5. Yeah. Paris is like Bangkok. How did the two of you fit in an AX, Boaty, asked Jimmy W. Well, we were, it was a chance to be intimate, wasn't it? It was purple. It was actually the only reason I didn't go out and buy a Citroen AX. It was my grandfather's car. And when he gave up driving, it was given, it came my way to kind of dispose of or whatever. And I didn't want to dispose of it. It was my granddad's car. So I remember fitting an incredible gramophone in it, and I thought I'd use it. And it did about 600 to the gallon. So yeah, I had various cars at the time. I certainly had the pair of Porsches, the 928, the Top Gear car, and the 931 Turbo. I had other cars as well, but I would often just use the Citroen AX. I remember another date, Heidi, very posh, and I remember the when I met Heidi on the first non-date date, the meetup thing to see if you actually want to go on a date. Then I turned up in Milo, the 928, and she loved the noise of it. And then when we went on our first date, and I took her out for a meal, I turned up in the Citroen AX, and she was really disappointed. Really disappointed. I thought you'd come in the Porsche. Yeah, no. Oh, Heidi, bless her. I loved that little AX, and I kept that for a long time. Um, yeah, I still had that when Maggie and I had been courting for years and actually moved in together before we got married. But yeah, because we lived together for quite a long time before we actually got married. I play Radio 3 in my van, says to you. It's time to educate myself on fugues and stuff. Irish women are sound, says Jimmy W. Yeah, absolutely. 6'4" and full of muscle, says Steve. And that is a down under reference, isn't it? Men at work. I come from a land down under. Irish women are fiery. I remember what my mother was like at times. Yeah. Poppy's Travel says, Boaty, when you go to the lighthouse, have a picnic in the room on the carpet with the views. It's amazing and very romantic. Bloody expensive as well. After saying that I'd do that last night, I went on the website today to have a look and had a look at the prices. Oh dear. But yeah, I will stick to it. I promised, and I will absolutely. This is a therapy session for you, Bodie. Yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is. Oh, John Stoodley. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. Simone is with us, hooked on classics, just passing through on the way to bed. Oh, and then there are lots and lots below. Citroen Visas were fun. An AX like in the postcard from Paris. Well, yes and no, Peter P. Yeah, now, obviously, Postcard from Paris, one of my favourite programme. The programme that turned me on to France, the programme that changed my life when I was a teenager. And I had the incredible, one of the greatest gifts of my life, the incredible good fortune to become friends with Clive James. Vivian, his real name is. But yeah, very late in life, when I was separated, we unexpectedly became friends. Oh, but yeah, Postcard from Paris. Well, but no, the AX in that was being driven by Francois Sagan, and that was a GT. That was an AX GT. Mine was a 1.5 diesel. But yeah, the same principle applies. I haven't seen a Peugeot 605 in years, says Richard. Neither have I, actually. Neither have I. Never had one. Had one in the on the pitch, but I never had one personally. I did have a 604 then. I can't think of a box pounding today. Sorry, says Simone. Don't worry, you've come up with so many fantastic ones that you can be excused. And on that note, I will pound the box. It is now just 6 sleeps until time to go to Llandudno, and 5 sleeps until the box gets emptied. That's going to be exciting, seeing how much money I've got to play with to pay for the hotel room I've blagged and hopefully something to eat. Pound that box or I'll let your tyres down, says Stu. It's done. I have done it. Right. And I've caught up with the comments, and it's like late. So that's probably quite an appropriate time to bugger off, really, isn't it? Right, I'm going to say an extra special thank you for taking me down memory lane today. Oh, is that a new one? Oh, no, that was. Oh, hang on. Oh, this might be. Hang on.
Happy birthday, Emma.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So, yeah, an extra special thank you for prompting and allowing me to have a little turn down memory lane. I'd forgotten about our first date, me and the artist formerly known as Mrs. Boaty, Paris and Brussels. Happy days. Happy days. Right, and on that note, I guess I will bugger off. I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, and hopefully you will all be back too. Look, the weather's going to be, I don't know what it's like where you are, certainly where I am, it's going to be stupidly cold right through until Sunday. Sunday's going to be a little bit warmer. Monday's going to be quite a lot warmer, which is great news for me, as that's when I and Officer Crabtree are going to be buggering off to Llandudno. Oh, Diane is an excellent stand-in for Matron and Emma. I agree. And I agree she needs her own spatula. Yeah, totally. She told me. So a massive thank you to Poppy's Travels for the lovely Christmas gift, birthday gifts. It's not Christmas anymore, is it? Some of which are back in the fridge. The wine is here, and I love this. I love this. This is going in pride of place on the booze stand. I absolutely adore that. I'm delighted that Tricia's Paul is on the mend. And I just need to thank you all for being amazing and for being here and for giving me your time yet again. And yeah, and so yeah, have a safe and peaceful night. I hope that you continue to stay safe and warm and dry. I hope tomorrow brings a little bit of joy for you at some point in some way. And I urge you all to take care of yourselves. And if you're fortunate enough to have those that you love or who love you, please take really good care of them too. If you're not already a member of the Facebook group, please do consider joining it. That's going to go places this year. I'm loving it so much. I look forward to getting up so I can do all of the dish of the day doings. And things are only going to get better there as we plan the community meetups and whatnot going through the oh, I said I was going to do a link to Carol C's channel. Bear with me, I will do that now. Oh God, I've got to find it. Where's my, I see I'm on the wrong account. That's why. That's why. Ah, here it is. Right, Carol C. I'm subscribed on both of my accounts. Where do I get the link? How do I do this? Here we are. Right. Okay. Paste. There we go. If I've done it correctly, that is a link to Carol C's YouTube channel. Please do subscribe. Since Carol found us through the lovely Sean, she's been an amazing community member. She's jumped in with both feet, and it's just a joy to have her around. So, yeah, please do. Oh, okay. That's not a live link because I'm not right. I'm not actually signed in as I'm signed in as UK Singles Network because a YouTube glitch means I can't put this on all comments if I'm actually me. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Or I'll put it in and I'll put it in the Facebook group as well. Right, I'm going to let you bugger off now. So, take really good care of yourself. Stay warm, stay safe, stay dry, and the candle will be relit tomorrow night, 11 o'clock. I would love you to. I would love you to join me if you possibly can. Hopefully, see God above. Hopefully, see you then. In the meantime, much love from me and a very good night. And on that note, pachu, and indeed, oh yes, a very cold bosh.